Well, some people, a long chain. Some people wanted an equipment tour. There's a couple more things in that shed over there. You can see the lights on one of them. That machine did not start. But the 7520 here did. This right here is an old Mack. It says on the door that it's a 1990. So this is a twin stick. Well, honestly, just today was the first time I started it. So I have no clue how to drive a twin stick. That's a forwards gear. We found a gear. So the good news is my transmission label is unreadable. No clue. So I'm gonna guess it's a normal 4-speed here, and this is like your splitters. It's kind of what I've heard on the internet. That's me going off of randomly seeing videos. So oh, I think I got this twin stick down. We've made it about half a mile, and we've grinded every gear. But I've found every gear, so we're good there. I can confidently say though, I don't know how to shift it without grinding. And I'm not gonna drive this truck enough to learn how to. I know there's a way. And people that have drove these will say, oh, it's not that hard, which I do believe, but I don't have the time to get the feel for how to shift it. Once you got it in gear and going, it has a pretty good AC for the middle of March. Just keep that window open. I should stay on the right side of the road though. Alrighty. Well, last night I fabbed this up with Christoph. He helped me put the rubber part on, but we made a feed pusher. And to bring it over, I just threw it in the back of the truck to bring feed over. Now, how well this is gonna come out being so far in is probably not going to. And it slid forward on it. Oh, we got her. Grab it with the corner. You know what? Let's just take it all the way out. So what it is, I think you can see it a little bit. Yeah, you can. What it is, that is an old tire scraper frame. I took come on. I took an old tire scraper frame and the corner blade that goes sideways like this, that is actually the back scraper part. And I welded some steel onto it so I could mount it. We're gonna see how it works. This is the first time I've ever used it. Let me close the overhead door. Ooh, I like it. That is nice. So I didn't record making this, but this was an old frame for a tire scraper. I cut the tire scraper off because it was junk. This was the back pulling bar, which I repurposed because that wasn't in too bad a shape. You can see it wore out, but that'll flatten out and square up as it gets worn down. You can see it's leaving black marks because there's points, and it'll take a little while, but I'd much rather this tire wear out than the skid steer tires, because when you push up with the bucket and always turn, it leaves black marks. So the less I can spin those tires on cement, the better. Worked perfectly, and right at the end you just tip sideways. This was literally a junk tire we were never using, and now it should last for a while. I put a support square from here over. I was cutting it with a torch, and we were just making it work, so it wasn't perfect. It'll be fine. Then I have one back here to hold the bottom, and yeah, this was all put together without a single tape measure, and it came out just fine. So we'll push up this feed and those two. It should work out just fine. Ran one pass down this. You can see the black marks because of how the tread wore, but it'll be just fine. And if it's not tall enough, because it did let a little bit of feet over, if I don't like how it is, there's plenty of room here to weld a plate on to make it taller. But honestly, if there's that much feed coming over it, that means there's plenty of feed there for them to eat. So I'm not too worried. Works great, and that was a hell of a lot faster than running down it with the bucket. And it's kind of more even because with the bucket you have the movement, so it'll be good. I should have recorded making it, but it was at night. It was like 8:30 at night when I got done this yesterday. So yeah, cows are finally settled down. They're nice and quiet. The first couple days they were only quiet when no one was in here. As soon as they saw someone, they kind of were mooing, but now they're pretty good. So we're gonna go dump that grass out and head on to the next job. We got this truck in here. I did record a little bit the other day of driving it here, but it was cold. My battery was cold. I had it in my pocket on my GoPro, and I got some clips, but it was dying on me. We have towels there because we were wiping off the engine. So this is, I think there's like 2 known Mack engines, or not known, but 2 specific engines. I think this one says 235 horse. So I think that's what people were looking at, like what kind of engine it's. This is the 235, if that's specific. And I think the other one's like a 300 something. If I'm wrong, I'm not sure. I don't know Mack engines or Mack trucks really. We used to have an old Mack that was an old Blue Seal truck. That thing was honestly a tank. It had a 5-speed in it. A lot of power for being an old truck, but that was back in the day. It ain't comparable to the new ones, but for what it was, for when it was in its prime, that was a hell of a truck. That truck ran until the frame cracked and twisted, and when you went down the road, this wheel would be on the yellow lines, and then your back right wheels would be almost touching the white lines. That's how sideways it went down the road for its last trip, because it kind of shit the bed in the field. And that was the last time we ever drove it down the road. But we scrapped that truck 2 years ago or 3 years ago when steel prices were really good. We finally got rid of it. But anyways, on this truck, Christoph and me were going through it a little bit just to get minor things here and there going that we think needed to be addressed. And we had to get the PTO spinning. We didn't know how that turned on. That was a whole shabacle of chasing hoses because it runs off a lever that's not labeled, but we got it figured out. This tank was extended. We think this is Canadian because it wouldn't have made sense to be US. We think it's around 35 to 3,600 gallons now. Oh, as of right now, it's not sold. I have several people interested in it. Hopefully it is sold before this video is out.
Yeah.
But if it's not, it's not. I mean, if you see it on Marketplace still, that's how you know it's not sold. I have it listed. So, anyways, the engine says it's a 79. The door says it's a 90. So I'm probably wrong on the year of this thing. We're guessing. We didn't know that the door was changed until we got in the shop.
The whole cab was changed.
The whole cab?
I think the whole cab. It doesn't have enough rust on it for.
Yeah. No, though, there's a little bit here and there, but it's expected for the age.
Yes.
But the rockers underneath are really good shape for how.
They got switched.
The frame, there's no like splitting for rust between it, so I don't think it ever saw any winter. But yeah, so I could have the year wrong. That's on my bad, but you know, we just got this truck and it's not something we're keeping around. It's not needed, and yeah.
Nobody likes old Macks.
Oh, there are diehard Mack fans, kind of like we like our Western Stars. How do you like that, dude?
Shouldn't be drinking it, but.
No. Anyways, the chopper, first off, should finish up.
Yeah, we'll finish it.
And then Ferdy's truck is in here because it is mixing diesel fuel in the antifreeze. Christoph was getting grain or something one day. A load of stones. And he all of a sudden smelled diesel fuel in the cab through the heater. It just was blowing a weird, the smell through.
No, I didn't.
Was it through the heater?
Not through the heater. I just smelled fuel and
Well, he said he smelled it in the cab.
I thought it was a leak.
And it was not, whatever. It was, he smelled diesel fuel from inside, and it's probably pissing fuel in by the injector cups, but we're gonna pull the oil pan and check the bearings on it, and that way, just in case, if it's not just, if it needs an engine job too. We've been thinking it needs one for the last 2 years because it just hasn't sounded 100%, and we'll get to that when we get to looking at that. His chopper needs to get out of this dang shop.
That's what I'm doing. I'm gonna finish a couple little things. Finish that back piece.
Yeah.
And then it's getting kicked out. Panels back on.
I didn't really record much more of that today. We got those couple things working on that Mack truck. If there's more stuff that needs to be done to it, if the buyer wants it done, we can do it. Otherwise, it is sold as it is because that's how we got it. It's not like it's a machine that we ran that we're selling. It's one we just got, but we just don't need on the farm. That's why we're selling it. So it's kind of is as going. Chopper is all done. Actually, no. He needs to put the 2 transition chutes in, but technically that is driving out of the shop tomorrow. And the 84 is in here because it's going to be cold tonight. That way we have a tractor we know is going to start. But yes, that is the end of the video. Kind of a little bit all over the place. But yeah, thanks for watching and till the next one.